we had against Bayern Munich in the week in the Champions League. I think it's fair to say that we have put ourselves in a disadvantaged, a disappointing position where we have to manage the fitness of players, manage how we rest players going into the business end of the season. As we all know, we're fighting on two fronts at the moment, in spite of the fact that it's in the business end of the season. We're still fighting for the Champions League as well as the Premier League. All focus now is back to the Premier League as we welcome Aston Villa to the Emirates Stadium. Aston Villa, a tough opposition. They are currently sitting fifth in the Premier League table, and they are looking to finish in the top four. So it's not going to be an easy game. And now we cannot afford to rest a couple of first-team players, as that will quickly follow the second leg of the Champions League away at the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich. Whereas Bayern Munich, they will have a lot of players who they're going to rest, as they know they have nothing at stake in the Bundesliga, as they've already conceded it to Bayer Leverkusen. So it's really a problem for us at the moment, because we cannot afford a slip up in the Premier League. We have to manage these players. If we had won that game at the Emirates, which in my opinion we could have won easily, then we would have been able to rest a couple of players, or we could have been able to go full strength against Aston Villa, knowing that we have advantage against Bayern. But the advantage is out the window now, because it's all to play for at the Alliance, and we need to go full strength against Aston Villa, as we know that they are a tough opposition. But anyway, it is what it is. It's Mikel Arteta's job to do. He knows how to manage these players, and it's good that the players are fit. Of course, it's fair to say that players will have a burnout, and there are players who will be fatigued in that tough game against Bayern. So there's going to be assessment and to see the fitness of players who will be available or not against Aston Villa. And of course, there is the need for them to also keep fit as the return leg is looming on Wednesday against Bayern. It's an away match in the Champions League. And this opposition, they're a team who have been there, who have done that, they've won the Champions League. And on Arsenal's part, it's a learning curve. Obviously, we've been there before, but that's a long time ago. And you can agree that we are just like babies at the moment in the Champions League. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We cannot deny that. But what can we do? We just have to look forward to these games. And of course, we just have to keep taking it game by game, and to ensure that players are fit and available for these games. Yes, Mikel Arteta had his press conference a couple of minutes ago ahead of the game against Aston Villa at the Emirates. Remember that Aston Villa, they played in the Europa Conference League just last night. So we have had an advantage in that regard, as we played our game on Tuesday. So we've had more rest. So there is no excuse not to win this game. But you cannot really bank on that, as they will be available as well. And Unai Emery will have enough options at his disposal to field against Arsenal. And Unai Emery is his return to the Emirates, as he's our former manager. Of course, he will have something to prove. So this is not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. And I'm sure that they have this at the back of their minds. And what we have for today, we're going to be looking at Mikel Arteta's press conference, what he had to say on players' fitness, on their availability, and the game itself. And of course, we'll be looking at We'll be taking an insight into Aston Villa and Arsenal, the head-to-head, the statistics in general. And of course, we'll also look at a bit of transfer news for today. Without wasting much time, let's just get into it. I may not be able to read everything that he had to say in the press conference. You just do well to go to the Arsenal website to get everything that he's got to say. On if Gabriel will be fit after missing part of training. We've got one more day to prepare for the match, and we'll see tomorrow if everybody is available. On if there are any injury or injury hangovers post-Bayern. We have some, but hopefully with another day, we're going to be okay. On what he is taking from the Bayern game. Reflection done, Bayern done, gone. Now it's Aston Villa. We're only focusing on Aston Villa. On if Bukayo Saka has calmed down after Tuesday night. Yes, he looked fine this morning. He's had 48 hours to think about it, and it's done. On what's impressed him most about Aston Villa, what they've done since Unai Emery came in. He's made a huge impact at the club in terms of performances and consistency. It's unbelievable what they're doing. They're still in European competition, and they played last night, so it's really impressive with what they've done. On whether there are any challenges to playing last out of the 3 title contenders. We will know the results, but we'll still have our duty to win our game, which is the only thing that we can control. That has happened a few times already, and it's going to happen again in the next few weeks. So we'll just focus on what we can do, what we can control, and make sure that we perform like we have to do against a really good side to try to beat them. On semi-automated offsides being introduced next season, I think it was unanimous. So that means it is going to be better, it's going to be faster and more efficient. So hopefully it's going to work and be very positive for us. In case you didn't know, the Premier League clubs have unanimously agreed to a new semi-automated offside rule being introduced it's taking effect from next season. So there is a new technology introduced with regards to semi-automated offsides, and it will make it a little bit easier for the referees and the VAR as well. So Mikel Arteta was responding to it when asked about it, and he said, I think it was unanimous. So that means it is going to be better, it's going to be faster and more efficient. So hopefully it's going to work and be very positive for us. On when Jurriën Timber might be fit again, he's still got a few steps to make. He needs to play a game, at least with the under-21s, and he's going to have an in-house game soon as well. He's done everything in training. Now it's getting that match fitness and having people around him to start competing in a full match, which is different to training. On what he'll bring to the team when he's back, hopefully a lot. Everything that we've seen in training and in the time he was fit, I think is going to have a big impact on the team. On how pleased he is with our momentum. It's really good, and we want to carry on going. It's the most beautiful part of the season coming up right now, and a very busy schedule. We're going to have a really tough game against a really good side, and are we going to have to be really good to beat them? On the lead at the top of the table, changing 18 times. I didn't know that. Hopefully it stays as it is for the remaining 6 weeks. 18 is a beautiful number. I like 8 a lot. It was my number, so let's keep it at 18. On how the players are dealing with the pressure, I think it is just motivation. I think they've lived it already, and they are super excited about what we are doing and the way the team is performing, winning matches, and they want more. We know the task, the challenge ahead of us, and how good we have to be to win it, but we're going to try. On Villa having key players missing, we always try to use things to our advantage. We don't know what they are going to do, and that's nothing we can control. They still won last night, and they are really, really good side. So we know the danger and we know our strength as well, and we'll try to do what we have to do to win. On the differences between VAR in the Champions League and Premier League, it is different, the officials are different, and you have to adapt. It is a competition that is played in a slightly different way, and we're trying to adapt. On what the players got from the Bayern result, I think there's a lot to take, especially how we emotionally managed the game by being very dominant and ahead. And within 15 minutes, you are behind against the top side. You have to deal with that game emotionally, which is really tough to do. I think the team did brilliantly to manage that situation. It's halftime and there is everything to play for in Munich. On whether players have to learn that emotion on the field, I think that's something you have to work on daily with a lot of aspects to when you are there. You are already living certain things in your system, and as a team to be able to deal with them. On Emery reaching 1,000 games as a manager in midweek, it is unbelievable, and he's done it in so many different countries, in so many different contexts, and has been incredibly successful. Obviously, he's from very close to my hometown, and I have huge admiration for him and his respect. I wish him the best after Sunday, but what he's doing is really impressive. On how much the next 2 weeks will define our season, very for sure, because we can be in all competitions going into the semi-finals of the Champions League and be top of the Premier League or not. Every game is going to define what our future looks like. That's just a big part of Mikel Arteta's press conference earlier today. So you can do well to check the Arsenal official website and get the full reaction from the gaffer there. We'll quickly go to the Premier League fixture between Arsenal and Aston Villa on Sunday. A very tough match that we cannot afford to slip up. We cannot afford to draw that game. It's 3 points or nothing if we are going to win the league for the first time in 20 years. Every game of the season, every game from now till the end of the season is 3 points or nothing, and it starts with Aston Villa at the Emirates Stadium. And let's take a look at the head-to-head between Arsenal and Aston Villa. These teams have played 57 games between them, and Arsenal have a total of 31 wins, and Aston Villa have 12. We've won 17 games at home, and they've won 6 at home. We've won 14 away, and they have won 6 away, and we've drawn 14. And the recent meetings on Saturday, the 9th December 2023, it was Aston Villa 1-0 at the Villa Park. We suffered a 1-0 defeat at the Villa Park on Saturday, 18th February 2023. It was 4-2 Arsenal away at Villa Park. I still remember that game like it was yesterday. What a game of football. And Wednesday, 31 August 2022, we defeated Aston Villa 2-1 at the Emirates. Goals from Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli. And Saturday, 19th March 2022 at Villa Park, we won 1-0. And Friday, 22nd October 2021, 3-1 Arsenal. So from the recent meetings so far, Arsenal have been able to win 4 and lost 1. So that's a good record for Arsenal in recent times. So let's hope that this good run of form against Aston Villa continues on Sunday when the visitors are the Emirates. And the form guide between these two teams in their the last 5 games in the Premier League. Arsenal 3-0 against Brighton, 2-0 against Wolves at the Emirates, 0-0 against Man City, 2-1 win against Brentford, and 6-0 thrashing of Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. We've won 5 and drawn 1 in the process. And Aston Villa, they've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 2. They are having a rough patch in the Premier League at the moment. We hope it continues. On Sunday, they drew 3-3 at home against Brentford in their recent game, and they lost 4-1 away at Man City. Their only win in the last 5 games is against Wolves at home, 2-0, and they drew 1-1 away against West Ham, and they lost 4-0 away against Tottenham Hotspur. And let's look at the season so far. We are first on the league table, and they are 5th at the moment. We've won 22 and they've won 18 games. We've drawn 5 and they've drawn 6. We've lost 4 and they've lost 8. We have an average goals scored per match of 2.42 to their 2.06. And our average goals conceded per match is 0.77, and theirs is 1.53. We've had 14 clean sheets to their 7, and chances created per match, we have 2.19 to their 2.13. That's really close there. When it comes to chances created per match, it means that they have they can create a lot of chances, and I'm sure we must take note of that. And our biggest win remains the 6-0 thrashing away against West Ham, and their biggest win is the 6-1 win at home against Brighton. Our worst defeat remains the 2-0 loss to West Ham at the Emirates, and they were humbled away at Newcastle 5-1. And what about the top player statistics? They have their leading goal scorer at 18 goals. That's Ollie Watkins. That guy is in sensational form, by the way. He's on 18 Premier League goals. And Bukayo Saka is our top scorer on 14 goals, followed by Kai Havertz. And Ollie Watkins is top on the assist chart as well on 10 assists, followed by Leon Bailey on 8 assists. And we have our assist leader in Bukayo Saka on 8 as well. And the number of tackles made, Declan Rice tops our tackles performances. He's on 61 tackles, followed by Bukayo Saka on 55 tackles, and of course Douglas Luiz, who is not going to be available for this game as he's suspended on a number of yellow cards he's received this season. He's on 55 tackles. So that's the statistics, the head-to-head between Arsenal and Aston Villa as we build up to that game that kicks off at 5:30 on Sunday at the Emirates. Let's look forward to that. And the injury concerns from Arsenal is still Jurrien Timber. He's back in training. He's been training, but he has not been involved in any competitive game. Mikel Arteta has voiced it in his press conference that he may just have to have some minutes with the under-21s to build his fitness, and there's every possibility that he can still feature this season. So we look forward to that. We also take note of the fitness of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus, who has been nursing a knee injury for a very long time now. We've been managing him in recent times. So there's reports that he will stay out the upcoming Copa America, so he can build his fitness going to next season. And of course, Bukayo Saka was seen hobbling off at full time against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. But Mikel Arteta has said that he has this morning he's doing well, and of course he will be available against Aston Villa. So the only absentee against Aston Villa will be Jurrien Timber, as he's still building his fitness. to come back to a full first team performance. And that's uh, that's it there on the match upcoming match between Arsenal and Aston Villa. We just have to look forward to it. And a bit of a transfer news. What I'm hearing from John Cross of the Mirror is that Arsenal are looking to change their transfer plan as they are looking at Kai Havertz's performance. They were looking at bolstering their attack with a world-class striker in quotes, but as things are, they are changing their trajectory and they are probably going to sign a more inexperienced youngster. But we don't know how concrete, how substantial that update is. But it is a rumor, and it's only fair to make it put us in the know. So that's the bit of the update there. Let's look forward to the fixture on Sunday, Arsenal and Aston Villa. It's a game, like I said before, that we cannot afford to sleep up. It's 3 points or nothing. And this team, these boys, they just have to improve following their last game against Bayern Munich, which is very disappointing. But we've got over that now. We just got to move on and get Aston Villa over the line and look forward to the second leg, which is the decider whether we're going to progress to the semi-final or not. It's all or nothing. So now I believe that they have that at the back of their minds and they're fully prepared for it. That's the bit of the news there, people. I hope you have a massive weekend, and don't forget to keep enjoying and watching Eugene Talks Football. Hit the subscribe button if you've not done so, and don't forget to like this video, hit the notification bell as you continue to get our updates. Thank you very much once again for being a part of the show. I'll see you again. Peace.